why should you consider selling final expense life insurance? Your first thought may be, well, this sounds really boring. This sounds uninteresting. I'm dealing with older people. I'm selling life insurance. Why would I even consider doing something like that? So I'm going to tell you some reasons why, as well as interweave my personal story, because I actually started this business as a side hustle. And so I'm going to try to make the case why I believe final expense is one of the primary and primo ways to get involved on a side business without totally getting out of the corporate grind, so as to test your waters and get out there and make some side income. So first of all, a little bit about myself. I got into final expense after being a personal trainer for 5 years back in 2010, 2011. The business was down and I needed to make a side income, but I didn't want to give up my personal training business. So I stumbled across the final expense product and sold 3 days a week. I was essentially selling part-time, where I would work in the evenings and all day Saturday, just because I wanted to work that much. You can work as little or as much as you want to in this business. And then I actually got to a point, as I explained in some of my other videos, where I failed out of the business due to some problems I caused and had to get a corporate job. But I still fit in the final expense sales between a 45, 50-hour week sales job corporately, and still sold final expense on the side. So what I'm going to tell you here is all based on personal experience and what I believe to be something that actually does work if you apply yourself. So let's talk about why this works. So first of all, selling final expense is relatively easy to get started. So here's what I mean. You may think life insurance, or you may think maybe you've just researched life insurance or annuities or even Medicare sales or something along those lines, and you thought, man, this is a very technical type of product. I don't want to take all this time to try to learn all this. I don't have that much time. Final expense is the complete opposite of it. Final expense is a pretty simple product. All you need to do is understand why somebody would buy burial insurance, and the concept is very simple because they don't want to die and have the fund or the price passed on to a loved one. And you just need to know how the carriers work. Most people start off with 1, 2, maybe 3 carriers to begin, and along with somebody who will help mentor you, you can go out there right away and help a lot of people. Again, you don't need to technically study this stuff or wait for some sort of certification beyond getting a license to be ready to go sell final expense insurance. It takes more in the line of actually having the work ethic and the work effort to go out and see people. That's what attracted me to this business in part, was because I knew how to work. And if you know how to work and you don't mind working, you don't mind seeing people, then it's going to be something that is going to be a great opportunity. And you'll learn what you need to learn in about a week's worth of focus study, and then you're off to the races. So you can get started pretty quick. The only thing that you really need to do and make sure that you set time aside to study for is a life insurance license in your particular state. If you really focus on getting a life insurance license, it shouldn't take more than a week to 2 weeks worth of focused study time. You can do it all online. You don't have to go to a class in most states. And then when you show up at the testing, you get a pass or fail. And once you get your license, then hey, now you can appoint yourself with these carriers and start doing business. B here, our second point of why final expense is a good part-time side hustle idea, is there's a low capital startup requirement. So agents that work with me, I require them to buy leads in a direct mail lead system because I believe it is the optimal way to do business. Now, I would suggest the same to you. However, you can start final expense with other lead development options. So we can have you buy telemarketed leads, you can buy leads generated on Facebook. Heck, you can even develop your own leads. One system that I employ and I've had great success with is teaching an agent how to deliver educational short seminars where seniors will give you their information and then some of them will buy. That doesn't cost you much of anything except buying, food and stuff for them to eat while you talk. So it's not like a restaurant. That's kind of how we should think about this. A lot of businesses require a huge capital investment where we're talking 5-figure plus investments and a long multi-year time period before you cash flow and begin to make money immediately. Final expense is completely different. You don't need to make a ton of money, or you don't have to have a ton of money to get started. You don't have to have really any if you know the appropriate system and setup, which you can definitely learn. And you just get out there and start selling. It's really something that, and you should see positive sales results, meaning commission in your pockets after expenses within the first month if you really apply yourself and you get out there and work. So again, it's not a long sales cycle. It's a one-call close. That's another aspect of this business that's fantastic. You literally just get out there, you see people, you sit down with them, you show them what you got. They're either interested in the buy or they're not interested and they don't. And you can repeat that process every single time. There's not a tremendous amount of uniqueness in the sales process because, again, we're dealing with a specific group of people and they have a specific need. Usually they all share in common. And your job is just to show them what you got and prove to them that you're a good person to buy from and what you have is better than the alternative. And that actually is not too hard to do if you're set up right from the beginning.